Hello and welcome. My name is Ariana, and today in this video, I want to take you guys with me to buy a new camera off of Marketplace. Why? Well, I have a bad habit sometimes of when I get bored late at night scrolling Marketplace for things I don't need, and occasionally I send messages and then I also end up buying things. So this film camera is one of those things. Do I need this camera? No. But do I want this camera? And most importantly, can I use this camera? The answer to both of those questions is yes and yes. This is going to be a two-part video, and I'm going to add chapters. At the end, I will be talking about the camera, my thoughts, and its specifications. So if you just want to learn about the camera, feel free to go ahead and skip to the end. I hope this video will be helpful to anybody that is considering buying a new old film camera off of Facebook Marketplace. Hopefully this video will let you know what you should expect.
I found this camera, like a fully manual with some lenses and other accessories and stuff, for $50. And I said, oh, okay. So I sent him a message, and I am going to be heading up north in a few minutes. It's Friday evening. I'm just like waiting for traffic to die down a bit because right now the traffic is absolutely awful and I'm just not doing that.
Okay, so I just picked up this camera and I was right, there's no lenses. There's like other stuff that comes with it. It is this one, Nikon N4004. It's kind of dusty, but yeah, I'm pretty excited. It looks pretty cool. Yeah, it came with a bunch of other stuff. There's like a strap in here, other stuff, like a lens cover thingy, I don't know what you call it. In here there's like colored lenses and stuff, and then whatever is in here. Honestly, I haven't even opened it yet. So but anyways, I'm kind of hungry, so I'm gonna go get something to eat and then investigate all of this when I get home.
Because there were already 20 pictures taken on this roll, I told the lady that I got it from, I said, when I develop this roll, do you want me to send you the pictures? Like, are they your family pictures or something, because I have no use of these 20 pictures that belong to somebody else, And she said, yeah, and if I find them offensive, then I don't need to do that. And I'm like, you know what? This is like somebody else's personal business. I'm like, I just can scan them and not really look at them and just send them to you. So she's like, okay, fine. So, um, we'll see what I find on this camera, I guess. after some troubleshooting with the manual, I realized that it was blinking at me because the lens was not set at the lowest aperture setting. So I connected the lens to the set it at the lowest aperture setting, and then I pressed the shutter button and something happened. It sounded like it took a picture. Um, I think the picture is pretty awful because, again, I'm just taking it in the dark. So maybe now I will try and just take a picture of the curtain, and let's bump it up to 4 maybe, and then put the shutter speed up to where it says 30, so like 1/30th of a second, and we'll see. Yeah, perfect. Okay, well, it sounded like it took the picture, but I'm very excited to go out and use this.
The next day, I headed down to the beach to test out my new camera. I was so excited. Unbeknownst to me, the existing film in there, was so expired and had lost a lot of its light sensitivity, so most of my pictures turned out severely underexposed. But they did turn out purple, and I do love purple. Towards the end, I saw these two crows that were hanging out together, and I thought they were so cute. I tried to get a lot of pictures of them, and then my camera just stopped firing and also wouldn't rewind. It wasn't until I took the camera home and I unloaded the film inside my dark bag that I realized, yes, the camera doesn't rewind. Now, I will say, I don't blame the seller. This was clearly like their old family camera. I don't think this person knew anything about film cameras, so I don't blame the seller for not disclosing this to me. I don't think they knew. This is, of course, the risk you run when picking up cameras or other stuff, but especially film cameras on someplace like Facebook Marketplace. You know, people are selling stuff that they found in grandma's closet or whatever, and they may not know a lot about the item, and that's just the risk you take. After I took this camera to the Fairies on Film meetup where it performed very well, I dropped it off at Glazer's in South Lake Union to be fixed.
Happy Father's Day. Me and my grandpa, I'm taking my grandpa with me, are gonna head up to Glazer's to pick up my camera. Very excited. And then I think we'll go eat and go walk around in Ballard for a bit, take pictures of the beach. Should be a good time.
While at Glazer's, I also dropped off my very favorite, most special old communist camera because it is quite old and that needs some help too, but that is a story for another day. I also had some questions about lenses for the old communist camera, and at Glazer's, they were so helpful. I literally know nothing about camera lenses, and I learned a lot. Me and my grandpa had planned to go up to Red Mill Burgers, which, if you haven't been, it is so good. I know they have a location in Inner Bay as well as the one that we went to, which is like up on Finney Ridge. But yeah, they have really good burgers, and as well, their sides are amazing. We love that place. Red Mill was super busy, so when we got here, they said it was going to be a 35-minute wait for food, to which I said, great, amazing, because then I can go take pictures across the street of flowers and stuff. There's an absolutely beautiful flower garden just across the street from Red Mill Burgers, and some really nice murals too.
Have you been here before?
Yes, so many times. So many times. Always came here with Grandma Nikki. Grandma Nikki always took me here.
You, dear watcher, might find it kind of ironic that we started out this video by having severely underexposed pictures, and we're going to end this video by having very overexposed pictures. Now, in large part, this is due to user error. And also, this was my first time shooting an 800 speed film, which maybe was not the best choice for super bright direct sunlight, but I just looked in the fridge and picked out something new and interesting that I saw, you know? So now I know 800 speed film might not be the best choice for super bright direct sunlight the whole time. course, there may have been issues with my metering too, but the camera the whole time was saying everything was perfectly exposed. So I kind of don't know what to think about that. That kind of throws me off a bit. Based on the pictures on the film box, like the sample pictures, I think this film is supposed to look a bit overexposed, like that's just the style of the film, but I don't think it's supposed to look this overexposed. Some of these pictures I was able to correct with editing, but some of them I just left as is so you guys could see just how badly they turned out because it was bad.
Goodbye, train.
Unfortunately, not every day can be a winner, but every day can be a learning experience. And regardless of bad pictures aside, me and my family had a great time this day. Ballard is a super cool neighborhood. If you have never been to Ballard before, I definitely recommend checking it out. There's a lot to do. Yes, Golden Gardens is super busy, especially at this time of year in the summertime. It is so insanely busy, and it's worth the trip regardless. I do have further thoughts on this camera that I will be sharing with you. All right, let us talk about this camera. It is an older model SLR released in 1989. It features program mode, aka fully automatic mode, shutter priority, and aperture priority. You can also use it as a fully manual camera. If you're looking to buy one, they can usually be found for between $15 and $40 on eBay. Anyone charging over $100 is insane. It's quite heavy, and it takes 4 AA batteries, which is a contributing factor to how heavy it is. I like the fact that it's really heavy because it feels so sturdy. The shutter is quite loud, and my cats do not like it. It's funny because my other camera, my very special, most favorite old communist camera, the shutter is so loud on that camera, and the cats don't have an issue with it, so I don't know. It's just something about the way the shutter sounds on this camera. It's not for the max shutter speed is 1/2000th of a second, which is going to be plenty fast for the average person that wants to use this camera. The light meter shows up as a plus or minus symbol in the viewfinder, and I do find the light meter to be not very intuitive because my Canon has like a ruler looking thing and it shows you exactly how many stops over or underexposed you are. Now, this camera doesn't tell you anything besides just giving you a plus or minus. And because of where the dials are situated in relation to the viewfinder, you have to hold it up, take it away, change the dial, hold it up, rinse and repeat until you've got the correct settings. This camera is very easy to load the film, and when the rewind works, it rewinds very easily. You don't have to go and spin and spin and spin until the film is back in the canister. I mean, if you like doing that, then this camera is not the camera for you. But, you know, this camera is made in 1989. It has buttons and electronics that do things for you. You cannot manually set the ISO on this camera, which I think for most people that shoot film, and if you're just doing like Kodak 200, you know, Gold 200, Portra 400, or stuff like that, you're going to be fine. But for me, I like to use random respooled film stocks that might have an ISO of like 12 or 64, something like that. And so for me, not being able to set the ISO is an actual problem. All it means is that I just have to use an external light meter, but that's one more added step, you know? I read the manual and it says if the camera cannot read any DX code on the film, it just sets the ISO to 100. So just an FYI. You may have noticed that I keep comparing this camera against my Canon, and that is because they are very similar. The Canon Rebel models from the 90s are going to be pretty much the same as this camera. Those cameras also have fully automatic mode, shutter priority, aperture priority, fully manual mode. It's basically like a choose your own adventure camera. And most of them have like automatic rewind and they advance the film for you. They're really going to be very similar cameras. Overall, I really like this camera. It is a perfect everyday camera for me. It's definitely a keeper. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you learned something from this video. Thank you so much for watching.